your spotlight and put it right behind your chin, to scare people
Psychedelic.
off.
he's,
Spooky.
he's in a car right now. We know
I'm a
that.
spooky son.
So yeah, we were just
Figured
talking about.
I'd hop in and say hi.
Yeah, I got recalled to work, so I'm back to work again after 7 months. So
Well, that's good news.
yeah,
Just after the EI runs out, you're back to work. So happy to
yeah.
hear.
You know what? It was kind of ironic too because my EI ran out this week.
Ironic, lucky, synchronicity. We'll say all of the above.
I don't know. It just kind of worked out that way. Hey, Lulu.
Hey, Lulu.
Meant to be. Welcome, Lulu.
We
So
were,
just
we were certain you were at the target for Black
Kicking
Friday,
ass is Black Friday. Yeah.
kicking
Black
people's
Friday and
ass
Lulu's
for.
kicking ass.
well, just leaving Kelowna here, heading back to Vernon, and then should be back in the studio or
When
with my
are you
computer.
going? When are you going to California?
Hopefully by next Friday, I'll be back in, or I'll be going headed to California, and I'll be back in Calgary on Monday. So as soon as I'm back, that's all I'm focusing on, figuring out, and should have it confirmed by Tuesday.
You're not going to get flagged at the border again. You're going to get like
Hey,
detained
that
or
was
something.
self-induced flagging because I did the legal thing of declaring my metamaterial, and they confirmed it for me. So this time I'll just be shipping all the metamaterials, and hopefully that doesn't get me stopped at the border.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, by the way, Bernie, I'm gonna move to San Diego springtime this year, almost for good until I have my under business visa for 6 month cycles, and then I'll stay there forever until I get my green card. So you guys are welcome to join me when I
Yeah, it's party. It's party at Phil's, man. Second you get into San
party at
Diego.
Phil's shack.
Yeah, I like it. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, right on the beach.
I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
I
Yeah.
I I already have friends there that have been waiting for me for 15 years. 15 years, man. It's like okay, that's it. Fuck it. I'm out of here. You don't need me. You don't need more to convince me. even if even if your Newsom is the governor and the governor. I mean, I don't care. I just want to. It cannot be worse than here. So I need to get out of here.
Exactly. Canada's as communist as it gets, so we're already used to living under those sort of things. So yeah, at least it's warm
Yeah,
down there.
yeah, exactly. So at least it's at least Gavin Newsom is not the governor of the United States, so that's a good thing. That's good enough. I'll be back and forth with Vegas. Vegas, San Diego anyway, and I'll work remotely, so it doesn't matter.
I
You know,
heard
if
Vegas. I heard Vegas right now is empty. There's like nobody there.
yeah,
I've heard that.
no, but for my business because I don't want to party there. I just want to put my business there because you don't pay taxes there in Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. And if it's empty,
Stuff.
that means cheaper rent.
Yeah, I
What's
wish
that?
we had that in Ontario.
If it's
Yeah,
empty, it means it's cheaper rent or leasing to start a company there, right? So
exactly. And
might as well
all the
take advantage.
conferences are still there. All the CES and
Exactly.
the international conferences are still happening in Vegas. So that's a perfect place. It's not far away from Silicon Valley either.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. From San Francisco, yeah. I
Oh,
flew
and
over Nevada on the way back. I spent a little time in San Francisco, and then we went to California and LA, and spent a few days out there. And when I flew back, I flew right over Area 51. Oh, in
and
Salt Lake City. I was in Salt Lake City as well, briefly.
yeah, and yeah, I'll be in Pacific Beach to be more specific, and it's right next to La Jolla. So it's a very nice, pretty place. Um, and also, I applied for to partnership for with Lockheed Martin and No Drop Grumman finally. So first one, first served. First one that replies is they help companies like mine to get in touch with SBIR, STTR, the funding for small businesses. So it's easier this way to go through a private business because there's if you go publicly it takes time, but if what you're doing has a merit, then they're gonna speed things up. You know what I mean? So that's a cool thing. So hey Bernie, your camera is frozen, or you
Nope.
okay? Yeah,
I'm back now. I'm back. I heard.
because
I heard
you were
everything.
like that. I could see you were like.
Yeah, he's in the
I
car.
was like, are you still
It's
alive?
That's funny.
See,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
So,
done the drive from San Francisco to Houston straight, one like straight, like
ooh,
20.
that's a long drive.
It took me 22 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
22 hours.
I drove directly from LA back to Toronto. When I came back to Canada, it took 4 days at 10 hours a day. 4 days or 3 days and a half, something like that.
No,
Oh, thank
I
you.
just decided not to
Okay.
sleep. Because I had like 4 kids with me in the car, and like I just wanted to get home. We had done like a whole tour, Colorado, L.A., Hollywood, San Francisco. Like went down. Crossed that little border between where Mexico and still Texas. Like on the left hand side or the right hand, depends on if you're coming back or going. It's like the Mexico, and then the right side is the United States. Literally, like the freeway, you could see two sections, two different countries on one road. You know, so
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
So did you say 22 hours straight?
22 hours straight. Yeah.
You didn't stop to sleep at any hotel or anything?
No.
You
No.
That's
didn't
wow.
wait.
Yeah.
You were in a hurry.
But yeah, because there's like nothing nice on the way, and like if I'm gonna go to something nice, I have to like do a huge
I could
detour,
just
and
I
it'll
could
just
just see Lulu. I could see Lulu driving through the desert like Knight Rider. Remember Knight Rider?
Yeah.
I
Who's the natural
That's
born
swear to
trucker?
God. Okay, so when I got to California, like we went to Legoland, and the Legoland gave the kids so much Legos that I didn't have room to put them in the car. So I had to go to the Honda dealership and retrofit my car to have that like that box, that you could put it on top of the minivan, so we could fit the stuff. So I left the kids with the Danny at the like Legoland, and I went to the Honda for a couple of hours until they put that thing on, and then I came back just so we could fit the stuff. Like literally, I'm telling you, they gave us like a mountain of Legos. But yeah, yeah. Um,
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, I
Did
had
they,
my
did
little.
they give Legos for free or?
Well, it's like you buy a package, and I bought one of the nicest packages, where they get to do like the factory tour. They get to like meet the real builders, the ones that they make the whole sculptures there, and then
You
they
got
get
like the Willy Wonka tour of the
to.
Oompa Loompas,
No.
essentially.
Okay, so they gave us even something really cool. They gave us bricks, but they're like red with like our names engraved on them, and the special material that they use for like the plastic that they use in Legos, and it's like sealed, and they make you make an oath that you will never, share this secret formula with any, because it's a special oath. They give you all the little badges, and it's pretty cool. And I met the like an
Yeah.
old German lady. Like Lego's German. I didn't know that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Yeah, and this old lady, she's been working at Legoland as their, I don't know, director, or in like literally in where they make the Lego pieces, and like they have this. She takes pictures with everybody that takes this tour, and she puts it on the wall. Like, you know how you go to these restaurants and they take pictures with celebrities, and they put them on the walls. Well, that's her wall of celebrities. Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, we all played Legos when we were kids. That was fun.
I still have my Lego collection hidden.
My preferred one, my favorite one was the the
Space Lego. Space
the
Lego.
the the great plague that mimics the moon, and the little space shuttle and the little astronauts. I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
was my favorite ones.
I had a space one. Lego set. That's all I did
Yeah,
was when I was a kid was Lego. I
yeah.
guess that's where I got my creativity and
There's
ingenuity.
there's like Lego, and there's I don't know if they still have it. It used to be called Meccano.
Oh, Meccano. Yeah, I had
Yeah,
Meccano. Yeah,
yeah, those like that like my God, like how
yeah,
much
that
we put.
was great too.
Yeah,
Yeah, Meccano was way back. That was like
hmm
late 70s.
Yeah.
mid 80s for my time. I don't know like before then, but yeah, I remember that time. Yeah,
And
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s. Meccano was around there at that time. I
yeah,
had a friend who had one. Built like a tractor with it, and it actually had a steering wheel, and yeah,
yeah.
it was really cool.
I had my little sandbox outside. So when I was not inside building something, I was outside building something else with my sand. So yeah. By the way, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Uh,
Did you guys watch Danny Jones this week? We'll talk about after Philip's thing.
can you see my
And
stuff?
I'm not sure. Sorry to interrupt. I'm about to lose cell phone service, so I'll be rejoining in 30 minutes to 45 when I get back to my laptop. And
Yeah. All
much
right.
love, and I'll see you then.
Okay.
Can you see my screen? Hello? Can you see my screen? Um, Mike, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can see your screen. I just had to. Just give me a sec. I have to go to the washroom quick.
Okay.
I apologize. I have severe allergies right now. I'm like dying here. So if I sneeze or whatever, please forgive me.
Somebody put a cat in your face.
Oh, God. It's horrible this week. I'm already taking antihistamines already. I'm just like dying.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, go
Hopefully
ahead.
you'll. Yeah. So I almost made history today by doing the free fall experiment, but correctly, by having two coils that can support a neodymium ball of 66 gram, and the other one to support a chrome steel ball of 67 gram, but using iron core, because the coil is not strong enough to support the non-magnetic ball.
Right.
So I need to use an iron core for the the non-magnetic ball. But the problem is the hooks. The hooks under the coils are ferromagnetic.
Right.
So that actually attracts the neodymium ball on the right hand side.
Yeah, that would. Yeah. That'll help you with some of your
Yeah,
lift or holding it.
it's gonna influence the neodymium ball while it drops. So I had to find a solution. So I figured, well, if I use two aluminum rods, like you see right there, then
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna have that problem anymore. And so that's what I did. I went to the store. I bought these two heat, these two. I don't know how you call that. These the stuff, this type of wipers to prevent your windows from
Right. Yeah.
leaking heat. You know,
Oh, okay.
as you put that in your window to prevent them from leaking heat.
Right.
So anyway, it was good and it looked good enough for me, and it was after inspection it looks good. So tomorrow I couldn't do it tonight because there's not enough light here in Canada in December. And it's a cloudy day, so
Yeah.
there was not a lot of light tonight, and then I need today actually. So I need a lot of light, otherwise we're not gonna see properly the little metallic ball falling down. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and I should have the results by next Friday. So it would have been historical if I was able to make it today, but I
Yeah.
guess we'll have to wait another week.
That's all right. Sometimes
Uh,
these things don't go as planned.
yeah, so we'll have to wait for another week
Actually,
for.
I want to run this by you. You might actually find this really interesting. I was watching Danny Jones this week, and he had a Russian engineer. He immigrated from Moscow to the States. He lives in Florida right now, and he's basically a nuclear physicist. And he is working on fusion devices, and he built the device and he had to liquid cool it. So he was using mineral oil in the chamber in order to cool it. So at the bottom of the chamber, it would have the mineral oil, and then by a pump, he would pump the mineral oil through a tube through his reactor if it got too hot. So he did a test with it, and he started pumping the mineral oil through the tube, and lo and behold, he got static electricity. He was getting arcs coming off the tubing and hitting other parts of the device. So he's going, where the heck is all this voltage coming from? Because he was making huge arcs. It
Okay.
turns out the mineral oil, when you pass mineral oil through a Teflon tube, it creates the same effect as a Van de Graaff generator. So now you got a liquid state, basically a liquid version of the Van de Graaff generator,
Oh yeah.
just by pumping mineral oil through a Teflon tube. You got the massive charge separations between the Teflon tube, which is a high dielectric, and the mineral oil, because the minerals inside, as it's passing through the tube, it's shearing off all the electrons off the Teflon tube and creating high voltage static electricity. Who would
Hmm.
know? Who would figure something like that out?
That's interesting.
So I might do an experiment maybe in the new year. I'm going to buy a pump. I'm going to buy the Teflon tubing, and I'm going to make a reservoir on top, have the pump, and I'm going to make a coil of the Teflon tubing, and I'm going to put a steel tube in the middle of that coil of Teflon tube and see if I can make a Van de Graaff generator out of it.
Yeah. Cool. And well, be careful because I mean it's you have lightnings with that, I guess. Static discharge, you know. But in my case, I'm using just 80 watts of power, so that's not that dangerous. How much power are you planning to use?
Well, with the Van de Graaff, I
Yeah.
don't know. It'll probably make tens of thousands of volts. It's a
Yeah,
it's
but
basically it's for experimentation. You could take that voltage and you can dump it into like a Leidinger, and then from
okay,
there convert it into a DC, and then from the DC you can dump it into a capacitor or whatever you want to do with it. But I just thought it was kind of really cool that um, you could do this with mineral oil. That mineral oil through a Teflon tube will create the same effect as a Van de Graaff generator.
yeah, cool. Um,
So I thought that was really neat.
yeah,
So he was using it to cool off his reactor. He was making a fusion reactor in his house. So
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. So there's a
Other
lot of
than
cool stuff. It's if you watch enough videos as I do and look around, I'm always looking around for a little clue here, a little clue there. That one was a very good clue. A different way of doing stuff, like Van de Graaff generator uses a two belts, or sorry, one belt and two wheels, and as that belt is spinning around, it's creating that charge separation of electrons from the wheel on the rubber band. So
yeah. Oh yeah, check this out. I want to show you something else. Um, one sec. I'm gonna share my screen again. Share screen. Blah blah. Can you see that?
yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, the F-35.
That can do vertical. It's a fighter jet that can do vertical uh,
Yeah, that's nothing new. They've had that for a long
vertical
time.
lift. So it's pretty
Yeah,
cool because I want to show you that because that's exactly what I suggested when I went to National Harbor to do my presentation in 2023. I said, well, we could do vertical lifts with my technology, with my anti-gravity technology, and now Lockheed Martin, they're doing the same thing. Clearly not using my technology, but they, I guess somebody gave them an idea about it. So
yeah,
yeah, you gotta be careful, man. Whatever you say, you can get plagiarized very easily.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Certain things you got to keep to yourself.
yeah,
And if you're going to publish it in the right way, either through a patent or whatever. But I myself am not really a big fan of patents for obvious reasons.
yeah,
um, but
but
intellectual information, yeah, I would keep that to myself. If somebody wants to know it, obviously, there's I have to be a bit compensated for that, because you can't give away all your goodies, right? Yeah,
yeah,
I give out so much already. Like, I've got such a huge amount of content on my site, right? So they can't say, oh, you hold everything in, you don't tell people your secrets. Well, I beg to differ. Just go check on my YouTube channel, and you can pretty much find anything you want to look at. I'm
yeah,
pretty open with a lot of stuff, but certain things I keep to myself because I know I have to.
yeah. But that's the thing. You have to say a little bit to know to show that you know what you're talking about. You're not a crank or anything like that. You have to stand up to show up that
Well, yeah,
you're not a
it
nobody.
depends.
But
Well, it depends what you're after, right? If you're after to get a contract or sums of money, to do a project or whatever, you have to kind of show what you know, right? You have to
yeah,
kind of
exactly,
sell yourself kind of way, right?
exactly.
Um,
To a certain point, to a certain point. Not
Yeah, one
everything. You
guy.
don't give everything for free, but
Yeah, like one guy saying you keep secrets from remote viewers. Well, who knows? I do remote viewing myself, so who's to say I'm not one of those people looking for information through remote viewing? So we'll leave it at that.
oh, so you can see what other people are seeing.
Yeah, they could be on the other side of the planet.
Nice. You can
I
steal
mean,
what China is stealing from us.
well, no, they just know how to steal stuff. you know, you come in the country and you're from communist China and you say, "Oh, can I work for NASA?" And NASA goes, "Sure, we'd like to hire, newcomers to the country. So we'll invite you in and we'll give you access to all our archives of all our research and development we've done for the last 60, 50 years or whatever it is. And then you can steal it from us and then take it back to China." You know what I mean? So, but like the Chinese are good at back engineering things, and
yeah,
I think that's a really key thing. Yeah, because just the way their economy is set up there, where they don't have like these strict regulations where you can't steal somebody's patent and make a product out of it. It doesn't work like that in China. You make something, you can sell it. There's no red tape. Here
yeah. I
in
know.
Canada and the US, they put so much red tape over this and that and this. And before you try to get anything that you have that's worth anything in amounts to something, you've already lost $100,000 or more out of your pocket, whether patents or trademarks or whatever it is, right? It's just
Yeah,
here in North America, we have so much red tape. That's why the Chinese went so far in 40 years that they took themselves from a third world nation to one of the most advanced cities and that you could ever see. Like what they've done in 40 years in that country is outright miraculous
well,
what they've done.
yeah. Like I keep saying, it's easy when you copy when you skip all the R&D and you
Yeah,
copy something that goes through the R&D and all the market research in North America. If you skip all that and you just copy the results, then you save a lot of money, and you know it's gonna work because it's already in demand in North America. So investors will invest into Chinese companies a lot because they know it's gonna work because it's been proven to
yeah,
work in North America before.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
they
Like
in the
a crazy
business.
kind of a different direction, but like an example would be like like the latest stealth fighters that are out there right now. I found out what they use as their radar absorbing material. I found out what it was,
Oh
and
yeah.
when I found out, I'm like, really? You got to be friggin' kidding me. You
What
want
are
to
they
know what it
using?
is?
What is it?
They're using charcoal.
Oh
From a
yeah.
barbecue, charcoal absorbs radar.
Oh nice.
That's what they use to cover the skin of the airplane on stealth fighters. I'm sure there's
Interesting.
more to it than that, but the base part of their radar absorbing materials is charcoal. I
Well,
couldn't friggin' believe it.
oh, but you have to put charcoal like
In the paint.
on top of your
Well, no, it's integrated into the paint.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
but
I see. Yeah.
but the base material that they use is charcoal
Wow.
that absorbs radar. I couldn't friggin' believe it.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and like another one too, one of the most secretive projects that the U.S. government ever did on the submarine. Guess what it was? The most
what?
top secret thing. The
What?
propeller. The propeller was one of the highest guarded secrets of the U.S. Navy. The
The
design of the
submarines?
propeller on a submarine. Yes,
Oh yeah.
it was
Oh,
one of the high.
That's why when I was in Texas, I was talking to a guy, and to the guy because it's a headquarter, the Navy headquarter in Texas. So I was talking to a guy about submarines, and I said, "Oh, a submarine requires I don't know 7,000 watts of power." Yeah, then he corrected me, "No, it's less than that." And then I said, "Well, I have a stealth propulsion system," and then he said, "Oh, we already have stealth propulsion." so so he didn't talk much about it, but apparently they already have stealth propulsion for submarines. But
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
and that's
better
what it
than what
is.
I have to offer. What's that?
And that's what it is. It's the propeller. It's the
Yeah,
design. It's the actual shape of the propeller.
yeah. So yeah, so they're pretty much advanced, but I don't know if it's a 100% stealth or I don't know. I'll try to know
Well,
next
I
time I
don't
go
think it's
there.
stealth. Well, it's stealth because like you have underwater sonar, right? And that picks up
Yeah,
noise. So the cavitation that's created by a submarine's propeller can give itself away. So if you were able to design a propeller that didn't create any cavitation, the sonar in the that they use on their boats can't pick up any sound that you're stealth now. Because I know, like, even the crew members in on board uh, um, uh, a submarine, if they're talking in that submarine, the enemy can hear them
yeah,
through sonar. So even when they're doing an important operation, there's no talking allowed on the submarine because the enemy sonar could pick them up.
okay,
So it's pretty fascinating when you get into it because water is a medium where sound, believe it or not, can travel pretty far. And
yeah,
like we kind of disregard water in that aspect, but there's really interesting things about water, and I've studied a few areas, and now fluid dynamics, and now I found out about this mineral oil thing going through Teflon tube to create high voltage static electricity with. That just blew my mind when he said that. And I'm like, wow, I got, I might actually freaking try that just to see.
okay.
But yeah, well, obviously, militaries, got, massive funding, like ridiculous amount of money going into research for war,
Yeah.
all the
So
money in the
from
world for that.
but you need to find a solicitation that they're looking for also because I have a lot of things, but if it's not matching their solicitation, then you're gonna have a hard time breaking the ice. And fortunately, I think the thing they're looking for right now is to have new energy sources, new more powerful energy sources, and I have the antimatter genesis that can supply a lot that is 500 times more efficient than fusion energy. You
Right.
know, nuclear energy. It's 500 times more efficient than nuclear fusion energy. So, so I get a good start, with my antimatter Genesis, and I applied
Yeah.
for a solicitation this week actually regarding that. So I should hear back within a month or
Right.
by the end of December. Should hear back about my application. So
Here, I'm gonna, where I found out the link for this uh, nuclear physicist talking about this fluid dynamics. His name is Max Zamolov. I'll put the link for the show. It's Danny Jones. I'll put it
okay,
there in the live. I'll put it there in the live chat and watch the video at 2 hours and 24 minutes. Start listening there. It's near the end of the show. Um, and he talks about how he discovered, putting mineral oil through a Teflon tube to create electricity. So check it out. I think it's pretty cool. But anyways,
Nice.
irregardless, the whole show was really, really good. This guy knows a lot of stuff. And I lately I've been on a Russian scientist binge for like the last 2 weeks now. I've been just trying to source out anything that's Russian in free energy and engineering and stuff like that. You'd be amazed what some of these Russians have come up with, some mind-boggling stuff, like really, really good. So yeah, that's what I've been up to the last couple of weeks, just kind of researching some of this stuff and trying to get some ideas together for the new Renegade device and engineering that sucker, which is going to be a
Yeah.
crash course in
Yeah.
brain surgery.
I'm gonna try to get ready with my free fall experiment for next week because I need to get it done soon because there's another show, the Demystify Science show at the early December. I'm gonna try to present it there also, so I need to get done with that experiment.
Yeah. And I watched this other show too that was really cool. They were talking about, I think it was, believe it or not, it was on Ashton Forbes. He was interviewing some guy, I forget his name offhand, but um, it turns out the first nuclear bomb was not made by the US. It was actually done by Nazi Germany.
Oh
And
yeah,
after Project Paperclip happened, those nuclear engineers made their way into the U.S. and it just kind of went from there. But apparently, they did one nuclear test in Nazi Germany I think it was 1942 time frame. Uh,
yeah,
a couple of these engineers that were still alive, they said, yeah, they actually conducted an actual live nuclear test of a weapon, and that was part of the wonder weapons that Hitler was working on, and
yeah,
it just got into the U.S. hands after the war ended, right?
yeah. Um, it's funny. The E equals MC square, and they just Germany just Einstein actually just embraced and extended Henri Poincaré is E equals MC squared. But one thing I realized with European countries is um, there are a lot from what I heard from entrepreneurs that come here in Montreal. They're from France and then they come here in Montreal to be an entrepreneur, and I wonder why are you moving from France? And they say France is socialist. They don't promote SMBs and small businesses and things like that. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing in Germany. They don't they don't encourage entrepreneurship, and that's
Yeah,
what feeds that's what feeds a nation. That's how a
yeah,
nation
exactly.
gets rich. You should.
And a perfect example would be China. China was built on entrepreneurship. Look what it did to the country. It made it massive
Yeah,
and
exactly,
technologically huge.
exactly.
Their economic power of the world.
Yeah, by copying us, but they by
Well,
embracing and extending us, should I
yeah,
say?
they're not stupid.
Yeah.
They're not stupid at all, man. They really did a lot.
So
Yeah, they
so yeah. Having said that, I've got a lot less respect for European countries in general. Um,
well, I think a lot of them have kind of went into the socialist communist realm,
yeah,
and I think right now we're in a transition from the control of the colonial British Empire,
yeah,
and the colonialism and the British Empire is starting to lose their power, and people are waking up and trying to separate themselves, from the British influence on the world, and all the scams, and all the money and all the fiat money, and people are just waking up. They're realizing that for the last 100 years, the whole world and the monetary system has been a giant giant
Yeah,
scam.
yeah. And actually, the only thing left that was a gray area in entrepreneurship is how to contact big businesses. But it's not very hard to contact big businesses to to sell your products or what you have to your services. It's actually pretty easy. It's again they all have a some SMB section and they evaluate small businesses on their website. You don't have to go through HR, and do the cold call bullshit to try to do marketing. Actually, I'm planning to spend 0 cent in marketing. It's actually I can do it myself. It's so easy, you know. So
Yeah.
it's not that hard to start a business. People are all scared, but turns out it's not very hard.
Yeah, as
So
long as I guess you have a good business plan on what you're going to do, right?
yeah,
But
the business plan is if you need VCs and grants and stuff like that. But in my case, I don't need it because it's a software and the physics parts. I did most of the experiment myself, and I did the theory myself. Most of the main experiments myself, and I paid some labs, and I got screwed. But I should have. There was
yeah,
no way of me knowing it. But if I didn't get screwed, I would have a lot more money.
yeah,
But I got screwed by China too. At some point I bought them some gallium and they never shipped it. So I lost $3,000 right there.
I
So, but if I didn't get screwed, I would have a lot more money than I have right now. So that's the danger. That's the main danger. People doing you false promises, and you kind of in a hurry to get the gallium or something like that. So you just give them the money without thinking, but that's when you're gonna get screwed when you're too anxious to get something. They're gonna screw you up.
right.
But anyway, I'll teach you when you're serious with your business. I'll tell you what to do and what not to do. So yeah, so it's not that hard at the end of the day. It's just a business plan is just to get to if you want to talk to the government or get grants or talk to VCs, but VCs actually the last thing you want to do because if a VC invests in your company, then you become an employee of your own company. You know what I mean? Because you don't own the company anymore. So 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 yeah, you gotta stay away from VCs, venture capitalists, should I say? So yeah, sorry that was my rant here. Yeah, we can't hear you.
I apologize. I'm just reading some of the stuff here in the chat. Actually, business. Fort which a few miles away from. We got those UFO pics. Here, I'm posting Steve Brightsdale Ford Twitch. Stairs in the Ford Twitch. Uh, can you elaborate on that one?
For the witch.
Oh, the UFO pics. Oh, those there. Um, that's actually at my storage locker where my lab is. Um, oh, who else we got here? Oh, we lost Lulu. Lulu's back.
I've been back and I thought I'm like talking to myself and you guys aren't hearing me. I'm like, why are they ignoring me? Like
Your
for the
mic
past
was
like
off.
10 minutes.
I'm just gonna, you know what, guys? This is a good time for me to, you and Philip talk. I'm just gonna scoot out for a quick smoke, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was listening to your idea, like venture capitals are not a good idea because I've heard. Yeah, I was listening to that, whole bit. Um, but you mentioned something about like marketing. Well, it's not marketing. You have to know the where your software in what industry could it be applied to. And then you have to kind of search these companies and present your software and how it could, enhance their operation.
Exactly.
So
So that's why I'm targeting big banks with my software mainly. So it's pretty easy to contact big banks, um, not through HR and all that crap or cold calls or meeting somebody randomly in the street that works there. It doesn't work. So they got a section for SMBs on their website you can talk to. So you present your company there. They're gonna evaluate. And big banks, they got a lot of money to for new technologies. So they that's it's a money fountain right there. So I'm gonna talk to them when I'm done with my programming my software.
yeah,
So yeah, you're right. You have to know. You have to know your target customer.
you have
Who.
to know like the where the weakness in systems are, and like the system where it fills the gaps and don't lose
Yeah,
data. Like
I know
because
it.
your
I
software
know it
is
pretty well because I
almost.
used to work for Morgan Stanley before, and they cannot afford to have backend server that crashes. You know.
And they don't understand the computing of your software. It goes to the negative. What, how much, what is it, like 23, 24, and like quantum uh, algorithms. Not a lot of systems could do that. They can't, like, they don't understand like how the data is like tickers. It's information. How deep could you like cavitate into time for that, algorithm to continuously work flawlessly? They, some people just don't understand how that works, but you have, like, they
Yeah.
don't even understand how their own system works or their
Yeah.
own industry. So you kind of have to tell them like, hey, this is, where there's a problem in your system, and with every little update or with every little connection to any, like how they do those like corporate acquisitions, and
Yeah,
they.
but I bypass all the the persona that doesn't know anything about IT, and I talk to IT people directly. You know what I mean? They're gonna if I want to target the IT department in the of JP Morgan, then they're gonna forward it to the IT department. So I bypass all these clowns that know nothing about IT. You know what I mean?
The IT is, my God, it's like an endless, it's an endless science. But you have to understand who they, where they, the people that understand the physics and the chemistry that goes into, like programming these things. It's not just oh yeah, they know IT, but they need to know IT, electrical, how like electrons transition, how like how energy is diffused into how many different possible, routes. It's a little, I don't know, I just think it's a little bit more complex, but Yeah.
Well, IT is just software, not the hardware part. The software like C++ and stuff like that. You know. So you're talking about the engineering department, but I'm talking about just IT. It's just the software part, the the high tech part.
Yeah.
Uh, Somebody said, "Why am I targeting a dying industry?" Well, because this, I don't know if it's dying, but they invest like $20 million a year on new technologies. So if it dies or not, I don't care. I just want my million and be done with it. You know. So anyway, are you still in your car, Lulu?
No, I just got home. I had to go pick up my kid.
Yeah. Yeah, a friend of mine is working for the government in Canada, in the government, in the public sector in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and um, the Canadian Mark Carney is about to cut like 40,000 jobs in the Canadian government, so he's probably gonna lose his job. But he's almost retired. He was supposed to retire in 5 years, so he said, "I'm just gonna retire and move to Texas because it's the less liberal Texas or Florida, because these are the less liberal states." I said, "Oh," and then I said, "Well, I know somebody in Texas. She guys, I said the steaks are so good in Texas too, so you'll like it, I'm sure."
Well, like the state of the Longhorns, Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna. It was so fun when I like all three places I've been at. I've been in with the conference, the technology conference. Uh, Texas was, I didn't know it was the headquarters of the U.S. Navy, and National Harbor in Virginia, and Honolulu was pretty fun to be next to the beach. I liked it a lot, but it's a smaller conference in Honolulu, unfortunately. Um, Whereas National Harbor in Texas are bigger. Actually, it was bigger in Texas and even bigger in National Harbor.
You know,
So
like the oil port is here too, like Texas City. You know, they're one of the biggest like oil, you know, production refineries in the.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. We should work. I don't understand why Alberta is not working with Texas directly, because Alberta, they got the biggest oil reserve in the world. Actually, they beat Saudi Arabia and all these Middle East countries by far, and we're not even exploiting it. You know?
Remember this, Texas. Like it was one of the original 13, I think, states, and Texas has its own constitution. And when it entered into the United States, the like it reserved the right to you know it can like it could become its own country, a sovereign, you know, and we have a Texas constitution.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
yeah. Like we don't have like certain taxes here, like other states, you know, participate here. We don't because it's a state that produces a lot towards the national GDP, and so
Okay.
and plus we've got a lot of agriculture, and from the original. Like when they originally wrote the constitutions, like it had special category Texas. Yeah, so
So you're making like other shitty states like Mississippi survive?
I don't know. I don't know about that, but I just know general information. Not
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, I always wondered what the hell is there in Mississippi other than a bunch of rednecks, you know.
Well, they have a really nice river that they like. I've seen cruises that could go, along the Mississippi River. So it has very beautiful natural, wildlife and like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a lot. It's really green because it has that river. So
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, man, take over, Mike. I'm just gonna grab another beer.
Grab another beer.
I'll,
It's
I'll,
one of those nights, eh?
I need to grab some like a drink as well, like some sparkling water or something.
Yeah. I'm in the kitchen right now, so everything is like really convenient for me. um, yeah, so I'm trying to think about this. As you know, Christmas is coming up soon. Probably what I'm going to do is probably take a week or two off during Christmas um, from doing the show because I know everybody's going to be spending a lot of their time with the families and stuff like that. Um, it's not concrete that I'm going to do that, but I kind of been thinking about taking a couple weeks off there throughout Christmas, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Like I know today is Black Friday, everybody's out shopping. We only got like a quarter of what we have people logged in tonight, so everybody's out spending their paychecks, on Christmas gifts and stuff like that. So yeah, so
Hillbillies are the most inventive folks you'll ever meet. Yeah, maybe that's right.
yeah, you don't see me at any shopping mall on Black Friday. Forget that. I don't want to get it. I don't want to get into a fight over a Power Rangers. Oh
Black
man,
Friday.
yeah, I'm like extra tired today because like I said earlier in the show, I started back to work. I got recalled back to work, so I'm working again. So that's a good thing. So I got money for Christmas this year, and hopefully that lasts. We'll see what happens. In this world, who knows? You can have a job one minute, and the next minute you're on your ass. So, but yeah, it seems like my industry. I work in the steel industry. Steel cutting and all that kind of stuff, machine shops, and we're just taking a really big hit in Ontario on manufacturing. The auto plants are getting shut down. They shut down Stellantis. So like Windsor right now is like a ghost town. Like they're showing Windsor and like half the business they're all boarded up. Everybody's getting the hell out of Dodge. Like everybody's leaving. And even Niagara Falls too. Some guy was showing a video today. I think I saw it on Facebook or whatever. And he's driving through the downtown Niagara Falls, and 90% of all the stores and shops down there, they're all freaking gone. They're boarded up. Like everybody's just like gone. So I don't know what the heck's going on, man. It's really creepy because like downtown Niagara Falls on the Canadian side, I remember back in the day going down there. It was a pretty happening little town, right? A little
With
city there.
Niagara on the lake and all that.
Yeah, right there where the falls are.
Yeah.
You have the Falls View Casino, and you have all the waterfront there where the falls are and the river. It was a pretty happening little town. Like I remember going down there one year and it was just packed with people. And now obviously it's wintertime now, but it's just a complete ghost town there. It's just like apocalyptic, you know, something you would see in
Uh,
a movie where just everybody in the city is like disappeared.
they can't. There's not enough tourism.
Yeah, the tourism has just gone down the gutter. Plus, it's off season to begin with, you know,
Yeah.
and the economy, royally sucks.
They need
So
to they need to film another Superman movie over there to increase the tourism.
yeah, really. Superman going through Niagara Falls.
Did they increase the border patrol as well? With the
I
whatever.
don't know because, like, I live about an hour away from Niagara Falls.
Hmm.
Um, Buffalo, well, Buffalo or Canada, whatever. I'm about an hour's drive from there, so I could go there whenever, pretty much I want, and check it out. But I've even been there in the off season. I was one time I was there in, when was it, January or February? Uh, my wife had some friends come from overseas, and they wanted to go to Niagara Falls. They said, well, this is the worst time of the year to go. And even then, it was January, February back then. Uh, it wasn't that bad, you know. You could still go to the falls and the casino, and the shops were open. It wasn't like crazy like the summertime, but at least everything was open, right? But now it's like things are getting boarded up. Businesses disappearing. It's like really creepy. It's like some of the, not big cities, but cities in our area. Like I can name about three or four of them, and they're turning into like these ghost towns with a lot of like drugs and
COVID
you
had
know
a lot to do with it. Remember that, like, with
um
the quarantine, everybody, like a lot of businesses,
yeah,
tourism
yeah,
died off. Like a lot of these things,
it
just
offset it a lot, yeah.
yeah,
But see, what I like about Niagara Falls, there's a lot of historical sites with Tesla there.
mm-hmm.
So there's another place that's maybe about 30 minutes away, 40-minute drive from me. It's a small town called Welland, Ontario. And what's significant about Welland, Ontario, they have what's called the Welland Canal that has the lift locks for the boats, the ships that come in. They get lifted to the higher water um, on the other side, right? But I just recently found out when Tesla was designing his hydro plan for Niagara Falls, he did a test building with the system. And that test hydro system was built in Welland, Ontario, which I didn't know. And apparently, the original building where Tesla built his hydro dam is still there.
Oh yeah, cool.
It's still there. And yeah, Welland's only about a 40-minute drive from me. So maybe might be one location I might try to check out in the summer. Take a drive out there and see if I can see the old Tesla plant. So this plant was a test ground to see that his hydro dam would work. So obviously it did, and they decided to build the big project in Niagara Falls. And they got a big statue of Tesla sitting there right
Oh yeah,
beside the falls. So
nice.
yeah, I think I have a picture of it somewhere in my camera or my photo album. But and I also went when I was in New York City. I went to the very first power generation uh, plant that was built by Thomas Edison on Pearl Street, downtown Manhattan. I also seen that building, the original building where Thomas Edison built the first DC power station. So I've seen that. So I've been
Okay.
to some of these historical sites. I also, when I was in California, we went to the observatory, which is up the mountain near where the Hollywood sign is.
Yeah,
They
Griffin
have,
Hills.
yeah, in Beverly Hills, in the hills there, where the big
Yeah, the
giant
Griffin
Hollywood
Hills.
sign is. Okay,
Yeah,
when you go up that mountain, they have a observatory.
yeah,
A giant observatory there. Inside that observatory, lo and behold, I walk in there. Guess what's in there? An originally built Tesla coil, a
oh yeah,
13-foot tall Tesla coil that Tesla built himself. And when
nice,
I walked into the building, they were demonstrating it. What a
nice,
freaking awesome machine! It was a Tesla coil. It was behind a plane of glass, and then behind the plane of glass, they had a Faraday cage all the way around the Tesla coil. They flipped the sucker on. It was making lightning bolts probably about 6 feet long. All right.
nice.
Within a matter of like 20 seconds, all I could smell was ozone in the room.
Nice. You
This
know
thing
what?
made so, oh my God, all the ozone
The,
this thing made? Oh, wow.
the Tesla was lucky not never to made any mistakes with his calculation when he was testing
Um,
his gadgets.
you know what? I have a feeling he might have made a few mistakes. It's pretty hard not to, unless he was extremely careful. But we're all human beings. We make mistakes from time to time, or we get a little careless. I'm sure he
Yeah,
had a fair share of his own little, lifters back in
yeah,
his day. But when he was working with the voltages he was working with, I think he would think he would be taking a lot more precautions, to
yeah,
protect himself. So,
yeah,
or just he understood the technology, so he knew how to keep himself safe, right?
yeah. But
But
sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you.
yeah, well, that's it too, right? Like I've done that too, where I'm tired and then I'm working on an experiment, and then I get a little bit careless and I short something out and I zap myself, right? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's happened to a lot of people. But yeah, you gotta be careful in working with some of this high voltage stuff. If you're working with 12 volts and stuff like that, yeah, you might be getting a burn or whatever, but it's not going to kill you. But when you start playing with stuff in the kilovolt range, then things get a little gnarly.
yeah.
So
Or especially me, as initially when I reviewed my electrical my electrical skills, my little circuits and things like that, I
yeah,
would always get nervous. I would start sweating, and
yeah.
the sweat would drip on the right next to the electric circuit. That sounds not obvious, but it happens too. The most
Excuse me.
that's the most dangerous thing you can have is to have a sweaty skin
Yeah,
when you work
sweat all over your
next to
experiment.
electrical circuits.
Yeah, you just made yourself a way more conductive.
Exactly.
Or you integrated your DNA into the circuit. Like one day you could become
That's
like
it.
that.
You became part of the circuit.
Yeah, become like the ghost in the machine.
Yeah. But like me, I'm a machinist, right? So, I get really, really dry skin when I get home. My hands are just like dry, right? So if I'm playing with electricity, I don't really get zapped too much because the dryness of my skin, I'm not very conductive, right? But if you have really moist skin, you're
Yeah,
gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it
yeah,
because like I would like if I worked with my Renegade device, if I wanted to focus an area of that potential coming off the piezo onto a certain body part, um, you know, if that area is too dry, I can put that piezo right on top of it. I'll feel the arcs come off, uh, but it's not going to be like hurtful. You know what I mean? Actually,
yeah,
I was getting several hundred volts coming off my piezos, and yeah, I put my fingers on it, and it's zapping me away. I could see the arcs flying off my fingers, and it felt good. Like it actually felt good. It didn't feel like, oh, you get shocked and you jump back and it's like it's
yeah,
painful, right? When I'm playing with the piezos on my Renegade, I hold them and they're arcing like crazy off my fingers, but it's actually feeling good. If that it might sound weird to people when I say that, but it actually feels really, really good.
it's the
And
new type of drug.
um, put it to you this way, um, I like as tired as I am right now. If I were to fire up my Renegade device and run it for about 15 minutes, I will feel like I had an 8.5 hour sleep in about 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that. I won't say anymore.
yeah.
So it could
Nice.
be it could be 1 a.m. in the morning. I could be really, really tired. I just run that device in front of me for about 15 minutes, and it'll be like I just had an 8 hour sleep.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, just being around
So,
it, just being hit by the radiation that's coming off the coils and the piezo's, and if I'm interacting my body with the piezo's and everything,
so
oh,
it speeds up. It speeds up your sleeping.
I think it has something to do with my body chemistry. It's actually charging my body chemistry. Because when you sleep, your body goes through a phase of rebuilding itself, it repairs your joints and your dead cells die and then they get repaired. It's natural this happens while you're sleeping, right? It's a bit a repair time, right, for the body.
Yeah, but mainly
But
for the brain. The brain sorts itself from what you learn from the
everything,
day. It restructures your
everything.
brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, just by using the Renegade around my body, it feels like I just had a full night's sleep. And it'll be 1 a.m. in the morning, time to go to bed. And then I'm completely wired. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh crap, now I got to go to sleep. It felt like I just woke up. You know what I mean? It was really
Yeah.
cool.
I think it's like the cortisol. You need to write like the part of the sleeping cycle is the cortisol. If you don't get that, you'll always end up with that. You know, not feeling
Yeah, it
didn't
could
sleep.
be, I don't know, the electrolyte in your body. If you're around, a certain frequency of power around any kind of electrolyte, it's going to charge it, right? Like a battery. And our body is pretty much a battery, right? Any way you look at it. We have a certain pH level in our body, and our nerves, our brain, it's all electrical. Our whole body is electrical. So if you're in an environment where you have high voltage frequency of, static potential in the room, I really feel there is some kind of interaction happening in your cells, in your body. Um, you know, this is just a hunch that I have. It's not actual medical facts, so I'll let everybody know that now. But I've been playing with this for probably the last 5 years. Um, the effects, how I feel being around the device. And all I could say is it's all good. I haven't had any parasitic effects on my body whatsoever. It's all been positive. And even more so since I started using the piezo transducers in it. And it was kind of funny. I was working on a device and I had the piezos hooked up to it. So, anyways, I shut the device off. I left it for about a week. Okay, get this. I left it for about a week. I went back and I was fiddling around with the device again. And I have no capacitors in the setup at all, nothing like that. Just the piezo was there. I grabbed the piezo, and guess what happens? I freaking get an electric shock.
Oh yeah.
So the piezo held the electrostatic potential for over a week. And then I touched it and grounded myself, and it freaking shocked me. I
It
couldn't
acts
believe it.
like a capacitor.
It has capacitive value. Yeah,
Oh,
electrostatic capacitance. Yep.
And
And
that
I
interesting.
was
got
how long was that? Like,
I left it over a week,
wow,
and I came back and I touched it and friggin'
wow.
it just discharged right on my hand.
Yeah, I heard also like with the old microwaves, some people like take the inner part to use it for something. Like they're not supposed to because it could also hold a lot of you know capacitance of energy, and touching it wrong could.
Well, as soon as you ground yourself to something that has electrostatic potential, you're going to get a shock, like a
Mhm.
really pretty violent shock. And this was a pretty violent shock because it kind of caught me off guard, right? I didn't realize over a week sitting there after I used it the last time that it still had that amount of power in it because it's a piezo, it's barium tightening, but it held that charge for over a week. enough to give me a good jolt. Put it to you that way. So that's piezo's has been something I've been really focused on for the last 5 years because they're showing me stuff that really no other device you can really compare it to. You know what I mean? They're very unique in their own sense. They could create any kind of frequency you want. They're used in medical. They're used for ultrasonic um, healing. I actually went to a physiotherapist and I had calcium buildup in my shoulders, right? I'm prone to getting calcium buildup in my shoulders. So he pulls out this device, right? And he puts a little bit of gel, the gel that they put on for ultrasound, or when you go for I think even a CT scan. No CT, ultrasound. And he puts that gel on it, and then he starts rubbing it on me, and I can feel the vibrations in my shoulder. And I go, "What is that?" And he goes, "Oh, it's an ultrasonic therapy device that we use for breaking down
It's called radio frequency.
calcium."
I think it's called
Yeah,
radio frequency. They use
it's a
radio
radio frequency going through. It's through a piezo transducer.
Yeah.
So he's just rubbing this thing all through my shoulder, and it's breaking up all the calcium. He's a registered physiotherapist, right? I went there through my work, right? So I had the benefits. I might as well use it, right? So yeah, did both shoulders, and it broke up all the calcium buildup in my shoulders from over 30 years of hard labor. You know what I mean?
Can we talk about like medical stuff like cancer and stuff like that?
I would stay away from the cancer stuff. I would just talk about stuff that's relevant,
No, but
Um,
it is relevant because it is actually it's regarding MRI and stuff like that. So they found they're able to freeze the cancer with the resonance of using MRI. So they use the cancer signature a little bit like we were talking the other day, but now they use the cancer signature and freeze it using MRI. In Australia, they do that since
Yeah.
this week.
Well,
So
they've been doing
that's pretty
some
cool.
great research. They've
Yeah,
been doing some great research on it, and it's coming back to some of these radio devices that we've been playing with.
yeah, exactly.
Piezo transducers and
So if you have a tumor or whatever, they can they don't even need to open your head or anything. They
yeah,
just put you through the machine and freeze it.
yeah. I'm sure they're coming up with some great stuff, right? But
So
I'd
yeah,
like
it's
to,
about time.
yeah, I'd like to elaborate on that stuff, but there's certain things you're gonna have to be careful with. We're not
Yeah,
making any medical advice whatsoever, people. So just a
yeah,
disclaimer, always check with your doctor. We're not making any medical claims or whatever. I'm just talking about just some of the experiences that I've been working with on my devices that I find a little interesting. So,
yeah,
I think it's relevant. I think people should experiment with this stuff. And if you find an effect and it's posing a positive result on you and you feel good, or it's helping something, you know, I think you're your best judgment on what's good for your own body, right? You know,
yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people over the pandemic issue, a lot of people got very disgruntled over the whole medical industry, which is understandable, I think, under the circumstances. A lot of people lost faith in supposedly the good medical practices, World Health Organization and all these guys. I think a lot of people lost a lot of confidence in these guys.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna talk about that too much, but especially not whatever. Um,
Not to change the
just
topic, but they eliminated the penny. There's no more.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We got Canada. How long have we had? They got rid of our penny, I think, almost 10 years ago.
Okay, but there's an issue with that, because each penny is worth 4 pennies, like in the material cost to make it. Okay,
Right, right.
so like the what they mint is about something like about like $60 million worth of pennies. Well, but
Yeah,
really that's worth $240 million, right? And they
yeah.
like dispensing
Well, know
that.
the reason too, Lulu, because most pennies are made of copper,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And copper is getting harder and harder to find. And if you look on the international markets,
Hmm.
copper has actually gone up in value quite a bit in the last few years because of semiconductors and electronic components that they use a lot of copper and stuff. But like I even noticed it, buying magnetic wire for my Renegade and my projects, for 3 pounds of magnetic wire, copper wire, I'm looking at $160 Canadian for 3 pounds.
I understand, but like in economics and finance, coin money is real assets. Paper money
Right,
is not, because
right,
coin money is
right,
metal. And so
right.
when you're
Yeah.
taking the metal out of the public's hand, as if you're taking value out from
because
people's.
because metal money is actually not fiat currency,
Mhm.
where paper money is fiat currency,
And so
like
what they're
gold coins.
is not, I
No,
don't think it's right, because all of a sudden, without people really understanding what they've lost
yeah.
something huge, as.
Well, it's showing that your money is eroding.
Mhm.
Like it's actually eroding at a very large scale compared to what you're actually seeing it. But now that they're taking the penny out of the equation now,
Mhm.
should be an indication. We had ours taken off the market, well over 10 years ago,
Mhm.
that they cannot afford to put real precious metal in in a money form as legal currency. It's not fiat, it's
I'll
real.
offline. I'll explain a little bit more, because it has, copper is also a main material that they use in ammunition making. And
Sure.
so,
Yeah.
when you take a penny, you don't leave room for people to be creative in that domain,
Yeah.
you know? And so, like, what is retained from that is very little back, like, into circulation. People keep that, that metal. They don't like dispense of it, because it's an important element in our, in making everything, pretty much. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like even like nickel,
Mm-hmm.
and using nickel in the actual metal, change, you know, and then you'd have silver dollars and gold coins and all that. That's real money. That is real precious metal backed up money
Mm-hmm.
that's in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want you guys to have precious metals. They want you to have this fake stuff that they call the Canadian or the US dollar, because they all know it's rubber and it's fiat currency. you know that's why they want to go to a digital currency system, because the guys who run the system can play it like they're the puppet master. Oh, you need 100 million, okay, click 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 click, send, and magically $100 million shows up and to your bank account, when meanwhile there is nothing that backs this money up. you know
Absolutely. That's
and when they had the meeting at Jekyll Island and they created the fractional banking system, you know, that was the beginning of the end for the US as far as, having value behind the dollar. So for it's like I think for every dollar they're allowed to lend out something like 4 times for every dollar,
Mhm.
and it's probably a lot higher now. But you know, there's just nothing to back up. Like, if you went to your bank, say you had $100,000 in there, right,
Mhm.
in liquid cash, and you went to the banks and said, I want to take out $100,000. Number one, they would look at you funny. Number two, they would refuse you, and they would probably actually call the police on you because you're not allowed to have $100,000 cash in your possession. It's against the law.
Really, I didn't know that.
What? What? What the hell is that? In Canada, I know in Canada, if I go to the bank right now and ask for over $5,000 in cash, they will call the police on me.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
here I think you can't go over 10,000. Here's like 9,999. The second that you go over 10,000, it gets questioned like for taxes, and you have to like prove that where you received it.
Oh,
You
here they just flat out call the police on you.
know.
It's like,
And then the
it's
cops
my-
are there. You say, "Where's
it's
my
my-
money?"
yeah, because
Yeah, I
you know,
don't want to go into
banks.
that, like, like banking system. Like my bank, like 5 years ago, a local bank like stole $26,000 from my account. And then when I like the local police were called, I was threatened by the local police to either leave or they will arrest me. And then when and they're like, "Oh, this you go sue them." And I'm like, "Dude, this is not the sue. Like, this is not the civil matter. This is a federal matter. Like, FBI have to be called when an amount of money goes missing from the bank." And so, like I swear to God, I hope technology can pinpoint where I was and how when the money was taken out of the bank account, because technology could reveal that. There's GPS, geolocation, you name it. I like any device that I've signed on that is my personal like use, or TV, watch something, or this could prove it, or even my car's GPS, right? Like I like that those officers were in on it 100%. But like they're very strong in my area, the local authority, and butting heads with them, and I've got little children. I will come out on the losing end if I do, you know so yeah, they stole 26 grand. And when I called the FDIC, I've called the SEC, I've called, like, man, I called every department possible, and then I had one individual that gave me legit information. And he said it would take the amount of dollars that in question would have to be like, it would have to like exceed like 50, 60,000 dollars before they can formally open up an investigation, because it would cost them much more money to open up an investigation than the value of the amount in question. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. It just shows how much fraud. You know, all these banks are a bunch of fraudsters. They don't call them banksters anymore. They call them fraudsters.
Man,
You
Yeah.
know, it's
I
all
have
fraud.
copies of the withdrawal slips. You'll see the ones that are signed in my name. You can see like my handwriting, but the ones
Mm,
that were somebody else like forged, it's a completely different handwriting.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when it boils down to it, and one of our viewers made the point that cash is better than cashless. I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. In the digital age, now you get digital currency. The banks can manipulate whatever they want. They'll be like puppet masters, like this.
Listen,
You
they
know,
can manipulate
100
anything.
million, boom, okay, 100 million, no problem. And
It has never failed me. Like, let's say I go to the grocery store, okay, and I have $400 in cash in my pocket, right? Cash. I walk in, my bill always comes out like within maybe a few dollars difference. And it's like, how did they know that I had that amount in my pocket? Like, how did they know? They have systems, they have like things that could detect exactly the amount of dollars that you have in your purse. And when you go to the scan code, something always, so one way to bypass it is wrap it in aluminum foil. I've done that just to mess with them, to see can they still get the reading, on how much
yeah,
exactly you have. And
Was it working still?
huh?
Is
No,
it working?
it worked. It worked. They couldn't tell how much exactly I had. And plus,
Nice.
if you bring a piece of paper and a pen and actually start writing the amounts and let the camera see that you're writing and adding them, so when you get to the register, you're like, don't like, I already had these pre-written, so you can't mess with me, like change whatever amount you want on the cash register. Just to,
Yeah.
to like really like see if there's I swear on my life, try it. Go to like take $200-300, put it in your pocket and go to the store. If your bill does not come out to almost the same amount that you have, like they have that technology and they're using it.
Yeah.
So how do you bypass it? You say cash is
I know. In Vegas, they have the capacity to know if you're a good player, and then every time you put in, you swipe your credit card in the machine. They know who you are. They know if you're a good
Yeah.
player. They
Yeah.
know all your
Exactly.
personality. And that was because I had an interview for a company in San Diego that was working for Vegas. Then that was 20 years ago. That was 20 years ago. So imagine these days. So I'm not surprised what you're saying is true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember that
The one thing I know for sure, everyone, is that I'm a big fan of cryptocurrency because of one reason. As long as it stays decentralized banking, where there's no physical bank in control of the movement of currency, then
Uh,
it could stay relatively a fair game, right?
well, I've
Second,
got bad news for you because in Europe in 2027, they want everybody to be cashless and be everybody
yeah, I
use
know.
electronic money, and they're gonna control, man. They're gonna control everybody, even worse than China. So it's gonna be even worse than China in Europe in 2027.
Yeah, you know
So
what? I would, if I had enough power to go out into the media and go on TV and say, guess what, everybody, we can beat these guys at their own game. Everybody, get all your physical cash that you have and buy into cryptocurrency and empty your bank accounts and put it all into cryptocurrency. Do not make commerce with anything that is a controlled bank. Do everything freelance, like free enterprise. And that overnight, the banks would lose control of the whole system that they've dominated. You know, you, you know, everybody wants to have a system that is consistent, fair game, fair play with everybody. But these guys have just abused the power of controlling the monetary
yeah,
system.
imagine
They have
imagine all
just
the money
totally,
they make with all the credit card interest. I have three credit cards. I pay like at least $800 per month of interest total on my credit card. Multiply that by the population, and ten
it's
times
a
that
fraud.
the population is 10 times greater in the United States. Imagine all the free money they're doing with all just the interest rates that everybody pays.
It's just you know what, Philip? It's just boiled down to the monetary system that the world runs under right now is fraud.
Yeah,
It is flat out fraud. It
yeah,
is so, like, it's so dirty now. It is not a fair enterprise system. It's not free for everybody. You know what I mean? Free from what I'm trying to get at is it's not free from corruption, right?
yeah,
It's not free from corruption. It's all corruption now. 2008 should have been a huge wake up call for everybody. You know, the housing crisis and the 2008 market crash. That
Mhm.
should have been a huge eye opener for everybody to say, you know what, these banks, they went hog shit crazy. They got deregularized by paid off friggin' politicians. You know, what's his name? Bill Clinton deregularized the banks. When he did that, the banks went freaking nuts, and they start doing all these subprime mortgages and all that. Well, you wouldn't think that 2008 would happen. Well, of course it's going to happen. If you deregularize the banks, they get so freaking greedy, start doing subprime mortgages on mortgages they shouldn't have signed in the first place because they know they're going to default. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're just playing such an evil game with
Yeah.
everybody. It's an
And
evil organization to the highest order.
yeah.
And the economics are something like called money cycles, like 10 years up, 10 years down, 10 years up, 10 years down, and they play on that rise, and like they gain from the rise and they gain from the loss. Like they don't lose.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they make it sound that it's very complicated and all.
Well, they want to
If
make
you
it
want to
complicated.
understand the banking system, you need to have a PhD. But it's all fraudsters at the top that manipulates at their
Yep.
will the interest rates and all that crap.
Yep.
The
It's
Federal
all
Reserve
fraud.
was created to stabilize the economy, but I
You
don't know
can't
if it worked.
stabilize.
But I think it
You
did the
can't.
opposite.
You can't stabilize a system that's already corrupted.
Yeah, I know.
You know, if you got a
And
system in place to run a monetary system, and you want to make everything you know controlled and stable and all this stuff, when meanwhile the people who run this system are the most corrupted people on the freaking planet.
you know,
You know,
every decade the IT people they figure something new. Like there was the internet boom. Like there's the AI boom. But
yep,
there's always these goddamn elites on top of it that can manipulates new technology and turn it against us.
yeah, because they
Well, I
made
mean,
a system. They made
the
a system in order for them to stay and keep that control. And
Yeah,
that was through the monetary system. They knew if they came up with a monetary system and got everybody to follow suit and use the system, they can control and manipulate the world population at will.
yeah,
Whether you want to start wars or end wars, or if you want to put somebody in power or take somebody out of power, it's all done by these banksters.
yeah,
It's all done by them. They're the ones that manipulate every horrible thing that happens on this planet. All goes back to them.
yeah.
I'm
And
I'm starting to believe really that it's not, it's out of human control anymore. It's more run
It's
on a
demonic,
it's run on a like an artificial intelligence economic system.
demonic intelligence.
Somebody set it up, did not know the parameters that it needed to give it, and the thing just like makes its own decisions on what it believes it's legit, like it should, and it should not.
Actually, you just jarred a memory. Uh, Danny Jones did a really good interview with Catherine Austin Fitz about a month ago, and they
Hmm.
talk exactly what you're talking about right now. She
Yeah.
calls it an interdimensional demonic intelligence.
Yeah, because like some things, like it just doesn't make sense, on when you like apply for a loan, or you do all the business plan correctly or this, but if it has like a prior idea that it could somehow benefit more, or reject that idea because it might become in competition with it. You understand? Like it's such a huge brain that
Well,
like,
it's an intelligence. There's
yeah.
an intelligence that's extremely powerful, extremely intelligent compared to the regular population. That it can you know maintain this demonic control over the populace. That's what Catherine Austin Fitz really got into really good. She did an awesome job on the show explaining it. She calls it Mr. Global. Who's Mr. Global? So she basically said, her and her friend were discussing it one night and said, it can only be an interdimensional demonic intelligence that would actually be able to pull something off like that. These elite rich, they're all into the occult. It's been proven over and over and over again. These, very rich people are involved
think
in
of,
the
think
occult.
of it like this: when a financial structure is set up to keep the person enslaved in it, it's still called
Sure.
slavery,
Of
rather,
course.
even though a person's still getting paid, but if they don't have the potential, or the system doesn't allow them to have the potential to, grow bigger, or integrate their invention idea
A
on
rigged
a global
system. It's a
scale.
rigged system. Yeah,
Yeah, and so it becomes like a slavery system that we just
it
don't
is.
really, we don't see it physically. We're not slaves, but we're enslaved to that algorithm of life.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's why they come up with all these new definitions of UAPs, UFOs that change the names to make it sound like it's not what it is. When meanwhile, we all know it's a rigged system, it's a demonic system, and it's controlled the population for God knows how long. And until up
The
to
new thing, they're gonna have data centers up in the sky. It's gonna become a grid, an integrated grid, but it's
oh yeah,
a data
beautiful.
like it's memory up in the sky. There's no more going to be data centers or information centers, or like
Beautiful.
on land.
New ways of control.
Hmm. And the other day, I was researching something. The old, like all our orbiters, the old orbiters, those have payloads of planet Earth secrets, like political, scientific secrets, are actually saved on the orbiters that orbit the planet. They're not on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Well, that's all part of this interdimensional demonic intelligence, and it's probably AI driven for all we know.
Yeah, I think so. I think for the most part, yeah.
I have a feeling AI's been around a lot longer than we're told.
Oh, just a question. Why do you only have 3.7 thousand watchers? I thought like there was a lot more than that. I thought like you were in the 80s.
What's that?
Your viewers, like the viewer count, like your subscribers, like I'm on my end, I only see like 3,000, like 700 and
Oh
certain.
yeah, I've been blackballed for the last 3 months.
Yeah, but I thought you reached like in the
I
80s.
should be pushing 5,000 now. I should be around 5,000.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah. Well, why
Oh
are
yeah.
they? Because we're using evil language.
No, they're stealing my viewers, subscribers from me.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Why? But I don't understand stealing. YouTube is stealing your subscribers.
Well, they're not stealing. What they're doing is when I get a subscriber, they're not adding to my subscriber count.
Okay.
Oh shoot.
Do you have a choice what server your channel is being streamed from?
No,
Or
no,
no?
no. Unfortunately, not. Yeah, there, Bernie's back.
Hello, I'm back.
Hey, where's your beer? We all have beer here.
We'll
I'm
just
just
say I
sweat.
left it on the I left it at the bonfire.
I'm just eating some apple crumble right now. So good.
Ooh.
I thought
Oh
like some of
yeah.
those servers work on the hashtagging of information on a particular like set of words. Like it would be like a search engine, but it will only get activated for your channel to be broadcasted via. Like you would have to have these specific hashtagged information, or
Oh,
things
my
in
channel's
order.
been my channel's been blackballed so hard in the last 2 months. Oh my god, I'm just
Welcome to the
livid.
club, and I'm sorry,
Uh,
Mike. It's
I'm worse than
probably
you.
guilt by association.
When I
Just
What
hit
if
like
it's
five
what
thousand
if it's a
subscribers, it'll be
refinement?
2030.
What if it's like a
right.
filtration system? It's a refinement system of data. Like that's how
Well,
they categorize.
yeah,
Like yeah,
it's
you
and
might
then
have.
suppression for anything that's real. Like, for instance, my channel's still like I guess 500 subscribers larger than Nathan's, and I joined his channel like multi-streamed the other day with the like James that James fake fraud dude with the fake anal probe of a UFO that he supposedly caught. And it was like when we were live, Nathan's channel had like 450 people watching, and then mine has like 10. It's like, how is that possible when my channel is larger than his? Like, it's ridiculous. 13 people watching right now, and we're live on 3 channels with over 12,000, 15,000 combined subscribers between the 3, and only 13 people watching somehow. Like, how does that work other than suppression?
Oh.
The numbers don't add up.
Yeah, my numbers don't add up at all. They're totally screwed. Totally screwed. I should be over 5,000 right now.
Oh, absolutely. 10,000.
Well, it's still 300, 3,000. It's pretty big already.
Yeah,
I didn't know. Now you say 3,000. I didn't know 3,000 were watching me sleeping every week.
And it's
We're
like
wide awake tonight.
that James dude that's the fraudster. He launched a channel like what 2 months ago when he came out, not even, and he's already at like 15 or 20,000 subscribers, even though he's a fake fraud. So it's like the algorithms just are designed programs to push anything that is fake and suppress anything that is real.
Well, anyway, next week tomorrow, so when my free fall experiment will be done, and will prove that the Lockheed Martin guy was right, then people can stop calling us fake,
Hey,
for the second time.
I'll start a new channel. I'll start doing yoga, and then I'll do these moves and fall on my face while I'm doing it. And I'll probably get monetized within like 5 days.
Right? Guaranteed.
That's how ridiculous it is. You work your ass off on this, get screwed. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, at least it's an excuse to meet every Friday, and it's still
Nude yoga.
we still don't waste our time,
Nude yoga.
No, not doing yoga, but I mean, regardless of the subscribers, at least all we're missing is a bonfire, I guess, and we have everything else. The beer, I mean, the sun,
Videos.
the stars.
I'm allergic to cats.
And s'mores.
All we are missing,
Like
there's
s'mores.
the bonfire.
I should just do something like Jackass, those guys.
There we go.
I've lately been watching what are they called, the jokesters, like this group of like I don't know 4 or 5 dudes, like the
practical jokers, I think.
Practical
right?
jokers. That's it. Yes, practical jokers. Man, these people they're hilarious. Like, and it's addictive. You watch
There's
one
the bonfire,
another after another.
There's the bonfire.
Good times.
We have it all now. We just need the cute kitten videos to trend.
Nice. You need the marshmallows.
Yeah, you need s'mores.
I got to come up with the most stupid, ridiculous
hot dog
idea
sausages
and do it. Come up with the most stupidest, ridiculous friggin' idea imaginable and do it. I'll probably get monetized in like a week.
Yeah,
because that's what they want to promote.
Oh, guaranteed. Cat videos. A channel just with cat videos will have 1 million subscribers in a matter of days.
Hi, everybody. This is my cat.
And he talks.
George.
And today my cat talks.
Like one of my kids taught our dog like how to sit and it gives it a treat.
And got what, 3 million views?
My God, like they had to like so many views, but then they found out that she's a kid and they took her channel down. But like really, it was like hundreds of thousands of people on a stupid little video that she taught the dog how to sit for a treat. Like, it's insane.
Oh, I've got an idea. I've got an idea, Mike.
Straight up, pet videos go viral. It's crazy.
You know, I've got an idea, Mike. Instead of we should do instead of mimicking Beavis and Butthead, we should mimic Terrence and William in South Park. You know, that just farts, all the time.
Yeah.
Oh God, please no. Please no. And I think it's
you need Nathan for this.
If I'm not mistaken.
You need Nathan for this conversation.
It's Terrence and Philip, sorry, not William. I forgot.
Right? So we already have Philip. We just need
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, we need Terrence.
It's still like the Beavis and Butthead.
I need more TP for my bunghole.
I'm the great John Rodeo.
I am Cornholio.
No, you just boosted your channel, man.
Probably changed the algorithm on my channel. Do Beavis and Butthead impersonations every time I do an experiment or a video. I'll just do a Beavis and Butthead impersonation of it.
Yeah.
AI Beavis and Butthead introducing the experiment.
Yeah. Get Beavis and Butthead making the Renegade device.
or like I was thinking of like starting a channel, but doing cooking unique foods. Like unique foods, like the other day I went to the farmer's market and I bought goose eggs. I've never eaten goose eggs. So I bought 2 goose eggs and some quail eggs, but we fried the goose eggs and I videotaped them, like the whole process on how to, how to make fried goose eggs and like the toppings and the options. So I got to clip the whole video and put it together. And yeah, I might unique foods with like the lion's mane mushrooms. So that's like the two unique items in it, goose's eggs and the lion mane mushrooms. So yeah, I was thinking of like doing something cool like that. But we'll be like really, it has to be unique things. Can't be like just every, like exotic items in there. That would be viewership.
Hey Bernie, do Beavis and Butthead do an alchemy?
Oh God, I know I got Bert and Ernie for that, right? I already got
Bert
my
and Ernie, yeah, you got to do it like an AI cartoon or something.
Yeah, that's definitely the next step. So today I was on Instagram and I'm like, oh my God, that's my video from Utah on some channel with like, it has like 1 million views. And I'm like, what the hell? And then it's like, oh, there's Bertie walking up to the honeycomb and on someone else's channel and getting 1 million views and only has like 200 on mine. Wonderful. With content getting stolen.
You were talking about at the beginning of the show. You were talking about getting plagiarized and stuff like that. But with APEC, I don't worry. Mark thinks when nobody ever done the liquid metal vortex experiment yet. Even if I showed it on their own channel 2 times, they think nobody ever done it yet. So don't even worry about getting plagiarized by APEC.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
anyways, we're at the top of the hour, everybody. So, I think we're gonna end this cast because I'm ready to like die here because I'm like so tired. We'll go live to air again next Friday at 9:00 Eastern. Be sure to check out Philip's YouTube channel at 5 Night Theory, and also Bernie's Crypto Alchemist. And we'll see everybody next week.
Take
care, everybody.
Much love.
Take care.